Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a slightly different video just because I feel like this needs to be addressed. Just because too often I receive cards and albums poorly packaged and that results in damage and issues with the seller and just a whole mess that we don't need. So to preface this, as a seller of K-pop goods, you have a responsibility to package your goods to the best of your ability to prevent any damage from postal services. Yes, postal services are very, very rough, so you need to take that into account. You can't just throw a photocard into an envelope and then when it arrives damaged you can't be like, oh well, the postal service did it, it's not my fault. No, it is your responsibility. Oh my god, it is your responsibility to make sure that that doesn't happen, because at the end of the day, someone is putting their trust in you to provide a good, to provide goods, to provide a service, and you can't fall short on that. It's just not how it works. So I just thought I'd make this video. If no one watches it, that's fine, but just it's out there, and this is just my opinion on how things should sort of be packaged and to prevent any issues between buyer and seller. So recently I've sold off quite a lot of my collection just because I want to focus more on groups that I really truly love rather than just buying albums for the sake of buying albums. So I've sold off quite a lot of my collection. This is just a few items I've sold. This is Pentagon Thumbs Up and then some AB6 cards, as I've reduced the amount of members I collect just because they in the future will have more, and little old me can't afford OT5, AB6 and OT8 ATs at the same time. So actually we'll start off with the album because I feel like that takes the most time. So how I package albums is with bubble wrap and a mailing bag. I used to use I think they're called bubble mailers all the time, just because that's what was available to me. I didn't really know much about mailing bags, but mailing bags are much cheaper and more readily available. So a mailing bag is literally just a bag with a sealable thing. Like, there's no protection here at all, so I wouldn't recommend buying these if you can't buy bubble wrap. Then this is just a roll of bubble wrap. So mailing bags, I got a pack of 50 for £5, which is ridiculously cheap. It works out like 10p per mailing bag, which is brilliant, you know? Brilliant, it's great. My math is probably horrifically wrong on that. Please don't quote me on that. It is summer. I'm not supposed to be at university. My math skills are not on it right now. So to start off, I will always check through the album to make sure I've made the buyer aware of any damage that it may have. My albums tend to not have much damage unless they're from delivery, because I just do keep them on a shelf. And then I check that everything is in the album that I said was in the album on the listing. So in this album there should be a photo card, the ad, and then the special invitation thing that comes with this album. And everything's in there, so we'll get moving on. So then what I'll do is I'll wrap it up in bubble wrap. I'll always make sure that the bubble side is facing the album to provide extra protection. I always start like this, pull it tight, and I wrap it round so that each corner of the album is covered twice. And that efficiently packages the album without excess, and also make sure that it is very safe. And then I just use normal sellotape to seal it, because there's no point in using packaging tape for this. I really should have found the end before I started upon this endeavour. attach it to the bubble wrap, and then I just make sure the bubble wrap's pulled tight around the album. If the bubble wrap is tight, then the album won't move and will possibly come out of the bubble wrap during postage. And then I just wrap it up like a present. I should buy sellotape where it's got those like contraptions that keeps the end. And that is an album securely packaged. Like, I don't think anything could really get at it, no matter what they do. They being the postal service. And usually, I would write the address on the mailing bag before I put the album into it. But I'm not exposing people's addresses, so. As this album is actually going to someone. And then I put it in, push it far into the corner. Keeps it secure. Now with mailing bags, usually once you've stuck it, there is no getting it off. Just because of how they're designed. And then actually something I do that not many people know of is making sure I'm far away from the album. I make a small cut into where I'm folding it so that any air can release. And then I fold it up, make sure it's fully tight around the album, because if not, the album can move around and just be possibly a pain for the postal service, which means they'll be more rough with it. I have my parcel tape ready. Parcel tape is very, very strong. I recommend using it for anyone who can get it. It's very, very cheap too. And then that is an album, really securely packaged, nothing's harming this. And then you just write the address on the front and it'd be absolutely ready to go. And also, if you're really nitpicky, you could also seal this part up, but to save my tape, since I'm running out, I won't do that, but it really is no issue. And then moving on to how to package photo cards. Now, if anyone has ever seen one of my haul videos, which I'm not expecting you to have, I've received cards in very poor packaging. I've been very, very lucky and not many of them have had any damage at all. But I have also, one of my friends bought a BTS card from someone, and I'm just not sure what the situation this person was in or whether they sold before. But she put the card in an envelope, not even a soft sleeve, no nothing, just in an envelope. And my friend received that card fully bent in half, and with creases, and just the card was basically ruined and she spent a lot of money on it. So just to make sure that your buyers are happy and that no cards are lost or ruined, this is how I package. Obviously you don't need to package like this, but there are certain things I do very much recommend. So this is a soft sleeve, it's just thin plastic, and in this case I'm selling 2 cards, so I put them back to back. So when I'm sending proof to my buyer that I've packaged it, they can see that both cards are within the package. I just slide that in like that, making sure there's a little bit of a lip at the top. And this is a top loader. It's hard plastic, nothing, these generally don't break or bend within postage. I slide the cards with good eyesight. I slide the cards into the top loader. I only ever do a maximum of 3 cards per top loader. I usually only put 2 in. Something like this is a good margin at the top. And then to stop the cards from falling out of the top loader within postal service, if it's going via air, which they can, the pressure and stuff like that. I only ever use washi tape for this, I never use any other tape. And I just seal the top. The reason I only use washi tape for this is that it's made by paper and it's usually a lot weaker. So that if I wanted to, I could just peel this off like this and then I can get my cards out. But if you use just normal sellotape, it'll adhere to it, and also if the cards move up the top loader, they can stick to the normal tape and that will ruin the card also. So washi tape also doesn't leave a residue. At least mine doesn't. It doesn't leave a residue on the top loader, so you can use it again and send it to someone else, as I personally really hate sending top loaders that are dirty and have other tape on and stuff like that to people. For example, I hate sending people cards in top loaders that look like this. As you can see, I can't get this tape off. It just won't come off. So I won't be sending this to anyone else, and also this, I can't get this off, and I won't be sending that to anyone either. As it's just something I like to do. I like to make sure everything of mine looks very, very neat and nice. So now the cards are on a top loader, that's very nice. You can just pop this in an envelope and send it off, which I get a lot of cards like that, and they're usually in very good condition, everything's really great. But also they may move around the envelope a lot, and because this is thicker, it can cause the envelope to have tiny tears in it and you could potentially lose your cards. So I like to put them backed on just a thin piece of card. This is a revision card or something. You can get like a pack for £1. £1 for American people is just £1, equivalent to $125. $1.25, not 125. And then usually, to back it on, I usually do this on the desk. This is risky. I just pop it on like that. Bring it around the sides and making sure it's secure. Oh my gosh, I usually do this on a desk. I am failing. I'll do that, and then I'll also put it on along the bottom. Like that, and then these cards are just, they're not going to bend. They're absolutely fine. They're going to sit very comfortably in this envelope. I like to face the cards away from the seal. I don't know why, just how I package. I even put all my letters like that. And then I seal the envelope with the self seal. And then you could just leave it like that, but I also like to put the washi tape over the seal to ensure that it will stay. But particularly with this part, I hate the ripped washi tape at the end. So I'll snip the ends off. and it just looks a whole lot more professional. And you can also always tell if you get something from me if it looks like this. And then you can see that the cards are in here, they're secure, they're not bending, they're not going anywhere. And this ensures that all cards are not bent, they're fine, nothing gets lost. So that is how I package all K-pop sales and trades. Oh my, it's so late, I'm sorry. I personally use the purple mailing bags so I know that they're mine and that just they look nice. They're also a little bit cheaper than some others. Mailing bags can be found in all kinds of shops. Like I used to buy them from Poundland, which is just like the dollar store if you're American. A pack of 5 for £1, which isn't that bad. And envelopes, you can get those literally everywhere. And revision cards from normal stationery shops, washi tape, normal stationery shops, online, and stuff like that. And these are all very secure. To reiterate, if you are a seller, you do have the responsibility to package everything in your ability to protect it. You know, you package how you'd like to receive. You wouldn't want to receive a card just in an envelope, you know? How would you want to receive goods that you have paid your hard-earned money for? And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm really sorry for rambling ridiculously. Thank you for sticking with me.